Hi there, Louise with you today, and I'd like to share a scrapbook layout process video created for Scrapbook Boutique. Now, I've titled this page Awesome, and I'm going to be really upfront with you and tell you that I don't love this page. I think I managed to salvage it enough that I don't hate it, and I'm not going to throw it in the bin, but there's something about this page that just did not appeal to me. Now, I don't know whether it's because my style is sort of leaning back towards a little bit more clean, not so much mixed media, and this is very mixed media compared to what I usually create. There's just something about it. The idea that I had in mind realistically did not turn out anything like the final page that you are going to see today. So firstly, I'm using this 6x6 paper pad, and I've cut various strips in different patterns, and all I'm going to do is just overlay them and create this sort of background that you can see on the page. Now, I have then treated that with some clear gesso because I'm going to put some mediums over the top, and I've also chosen my photo, which I've mounted just on that black pattern paper. Here's probably where I went wrong. I chose a doily to go behind the photo, and it's sort of like my go-to. I can't decide what to create in a background, so I go with a doily. And that was probably not the best idea, because you'll see later on in the video I'm actually going to go in and destroy that doily because it's just too tidy and too fine for this particular mixed media page. Now, I was about to use a stencil and add some of the Shimmery Goodness from the Crafters Workshop, which is a new medium in the scrapbook store. But I decided that I needed just a little bit of extra colour in those background layers. So I've used the fossilized amber distress crayon and just smudged some of that around in the background. And I really like how that's sort of popping out from behind that Shimmery Goodness. Now, you can see I've shown you the dried version, which I left overnight. I'm not sure how this responds to heat, if you prefer to dry with a heat gun, but for me, I really prefer to let my mediums dry overnight. And now that it's dry, what I'm doing is trying to get some black mist to actually run down between that Shimmery Goodness paste, and it's just not really working. You can sort of see that I'm going backwards and forwards and struggling a little bit with this, and I'm going to come in with some splatters and really have a bit of a crack at this page, but I'm starting to at this point really think, this is just not doing it for me at all. And I sort of pushed it aside for a little bit and did some other creating, had a bit of a think about it, came back, adding some cotton into the background because I really think that this helps elevate elevate the background just a little bit. But again, I'm just still not feeling the page. So how am I going to improve this? At this point, I'm thinking, well, you know what? If I don't love it, I can still keep creating, and maybe I'll end up with something that I want, and maybe I won't. So again, with the fossilized amber, I chose that sort of yellow base contrasting color purely because some of the papers had that little pop of yellow, and I thought that it would really elevate the page. So a couple of little splatters to add that bit of colour, and you can see that I had quite a bit of the fossilized amber distress oxide left over. So I have actually just taken a piece of cardstock and added, soaked all that up just so that I can use that later on down the track. Now here's where I'm sort of looking at things and I'm thinking, yep, still not feeling this page. It needed something, and I decide that I'm going to use this paper to make some frames, and I'm going to try and create a little bit of dimension and interest behind the photo. So I've got background paper, which is sort of not my favorite, but it's okay. But the photo is really blending in, and as I said, the doily is not quite working for me either. So I'm just at this point deciding how I'm going to get this page to some kind of semblance that I actually like. I've taken my black heavy gesso from Colour Blast and popped that as a border around that white page, and I definitely think that helps. Still not quite where I need to be, so I'm going to rough up the layers a little bit, those frames, just curve the edges and have a look at some of the other papers in the collection. I really am a better creator when my photo is finished, so my photo cluster is finished before I actually go ahead and create a background. So in this case I've done it the opposite of how I would normally create, and I think that's why I'm not particularly enjoying the process. Now it's a little better. I'm adding some stickers. I wanted to use this stickers for my title, but it wasn't quite, I couldn't make it blend with the page. And I'm sort of looking at it thinking, okay, I can add some stamping. And I'm using the brick stamp from Kaisercraft, and popping it around that sort of gessoed edge really did help me to end up with something that I'm a little happier with. I've dug out some chipboards, and they are of course from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio You Rock collection, and I think that it definitely helps to finish this page off. So off camera I've blacked up the awesome title, but really what you've seen in the video is the final layout. So thank you for watching. I'd appreciate your feedback, and of course check out Scrapbook